Hey guys, what's going on? This is Joshua from Switch Era, and I'll just cut right to the chase. What if I told you that you could get just 2 Switch games for only $4 and it wasn't a mobile port? Believe it or not though, there is a game that exists, and some of you might have heard of it a few times in the past 7 years or so. Of course, I'm talking about the Gunman Clive HD Collection, which takes the 2 games previously released on the 3DS and Steam store and putting them in one package. This collection costs just a measly $3.99, so you can either get this or go out and get yourself some lunch at McDonald's. With such a low price tag, there surely must be a catch though, right? The short answer is no, there's really no catch. I'll make my impression of the game clear. I enjoy it a lot, and I think it's a great deal at just $4. That does come with some caveats and some complaints about its design, but the game is just so sincere and well made that my complaints never tarnish the sheer value of it. Most of my complaints are attached to the first game. It's a fine arcade-style shooter, but it never really forges an identity of its own. You beat some levels, you shoot some evil cowboys, you fight some bosses, game over. Just about everything in this game feels like something I've seen a dozen times before, and that includes the unlockable duck mode, which I'm just going to let you figure that one out for yourself. The game also has some problems with its art style, which is the most notable aspect of it. While I do appreciate the pencil-drawn look on paper, in practice, it's not all that good. The game certainly looks better than other games in its price range, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still kind of bland. You move through different environments, like the Wild West, you go through caves, and then you end up on the friggin' moon. But when the color never changes, it's hard to ever notice those different levels. They all sort of blend together. I have similar thoughts about the soundtrack, which gets the job done, but it never really accents the game. It felt like they took a soundtrack from an NES game and just stuck it in Gunman Clive. Feels like it's going through the motions a lot. What impressed me the most, though, was that a lot of my complaints about the first game were addressed in the sequel. From the start, the game feels like it has more of an identity and direction. There are many more gameplay styles peppered through. They each have a few of their own annoying quirks, but the levels don't last long enough for those quirks to be problematic in my mind. Even the bosses got a significant upgrade, having more difficult attacks and being much more creative. The final boss in particular was quite a thrilling battle that really took me by surprise. Perhaps the best addition to Gunman Clive 2, though, was the use of color. Different environments are accented with different colors. Even the backgrounds themselves are given much more detail, which made each location feel distinct to me. In each location, there are also different enemies and hazards to find. There's even different platforms to go on, which was just icing on the cake. It's really weird to see a $4 game do this, but it also designs the platforms in such a way that they feel more organically placed, in a similar vein to Tropical Freeze, though not quite to that extent. You could be running across the rooftop of a dojo in one level, and then jumping on rocking boats in the next one. There's still some awkwardly placed hazards, especially in the last area, that just feel there to have some platforming challenges, but for the most part, the game commits to its own aesthetic and creates something that's kind of unique, which is saying something, especially when Nintendo came out with New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and it doesn't feel all that distinct. Let's be real now. Spending $4 for 2 games in one package isn't really a premeditated purchase. This is more of an impulse buy, and some of you probably have some leftover Switch money from Christmas, so this one is more of you get it and you're done. However, I want to encourage you to just sit back and enjoy it. You'll be surprised just how much there is to Gunman Clive. It's just a nice purchase that's worth much more than what it asks. You know, if you're interested in getting a new game for the Switch, need something to pad out your library a little bit, want to check this one out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to read more about Gunman Clive, you can check out our full review on the website. There's a link in the description below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hey, maybe leave us a like. If you like our style too, why not give us a subscribe as well? If you have any thoughts about these games, or perhaps any suggestions of how we can improve our videos in the future, feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks guys, this is Joshua signing off.